Hey there everyone, welcome to Sourav Sir Classes. So we are going to discuss one theoretical question from Indian Economic Service that was asked last year, right? So the question is about the unskilled surplus labor is a source for increasing foreign exchange substantiate, okay? So it is about the unskilled surplus labor, right? So basically, the concept of surplus labor refers to what? The existence of labor that is not productively employed in the economy. Okay, that means we know the concept of surplus labor already. Like we have studied so many theories of Lewis model of surplus labor, right? Knox theory of surplus labor as a potential savings, etc. So surplus labor is basically if they are in the form of disguised unemployment, as we have studied in different developmental theories, it simply means they are adding nothing to the economy. Their productivity is nothing. So that is marginal productivity of such labor is zero. And there are so many terms given to those labors, surplus labor as given by Lewis, that is reserved army, given by Knox, they are the potential savings for future and so on. So by surplus labor is actually the existence of the labor that is not productively employed in the economy. And this is the problem of most of the less developing countries. Why? Because we know that in these type of countries there are population pressure. As a result, population burden, per capita income very low. So these are all countries where we can find labor resources. Any type of activity that means labor intensive work, we can depend on these type of nations for the resource. So in many developing countries, particularly in rural areas, there is often a surplus of unskilled labor due to the limited availability of jobs in the formal sector. That is the urban unemployment, right? So this surplus labor can be a potential source of foreign exchange earnings through several channels. Like how? What are the points? Number one, if we discuss, is about remittance. Okay, so what are remittance? So remittance means basically in the form of significant source, like surplus laborers may migrate to other countries in search of employment and send back remittances to their families, right? So go outside, work there, and send the income to your family who are staying in your nation, right? So remittance is a significant source of foreign exchange for many developing countries that can help to alleviate poverty. Next one is export-oriented industries. Surplus labor can be employed in labor-intensive industries such as garments, footwear, handicrafts that are oriented towards the export markets. This can generate foreign exchange earnings for the economy and provide employment opportunities for unskilled workers. So this way, these unskilled labors can be used in certain way where there is what labor intensive activities taking place. Apart from that, so we have already discussed about remittances, like working outside and sending the income. Second one is about the export oriented services in those type of activities where labor is required for labor intensive work. Then next there is tourism, right? So surplus labor can also be employed in the tourism sector, which is significant source of foreign exchange for many developing countries. This can involve employment in hotels, restaurants, and also tourist related services, even the tour guides, right? So, however, it is important to note that simply having surplus labor is not enough to generate foreign exchange. There must also be policies and institutions in place to facilitate the development of industries that can absorb this surplus labor and generate foreign exchange. Additionally, there may be limitations to the extent to which this surplus labor can be productively employed in the economy, particularly if there are significant constraints on infrastructure, education, and other factors necessarily required for economic growth. So, just by simply absorbing the surplus labor would not be enough to generate foreign exchange. There are other factors that are needed to be taken care of in order to use the available resources properly, efficiently, and effectively.